Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be playing with lots and lots of neons and doing a little bit of punk art in my journal. So this is the very last page in my Large Dilutions journal. I usually try and do something bright and happy and cheerful on these pages, just so I'm sort of leaping into my next journal and I've got something happy page to jump on. It sounds a bit weird, but when I look at back in my journals, that's what I've tended to do. So I'm just going in with my usual array of crazy colours in the background, painting in my patches of 3. You can see that yellow and the green mixed together to make some nice shades. Usually I'll let my paint dry a little bit more before I mix them, but this time I was really not 100% worried. I was just painting wet over wet, and you can see it sort of blending together a little bit. So once I've dried all my paint, then I was looking for some stencils to stencil over the top, and I knew I wanted to use neons on this page. So one of the techniques I use when I use neon paints is to add a little bit of white onto the page in some way, shape or form, and in this case I'm actually adding over the entire page. So I just chose this stencil because it's got lots of mark making on it. Wasn't really worried about the words or whatever, because I knew I sort of wanted a grungy background. I just wanted something that I have little bits and pieces of white, so that when I put my transparent neons over the top, the colour would really pop. You can see I'm not being very careful with my stenciling. It doesn't go necessarily to the edges. Some bits are lighter and some bits are darker. It was all okay. It will work for what I wanted it to do. So you can also see, even though I had sort of a really patchy background, that by stenciling over the top, it sort of brings it together. So this is what I mean about having the white over the top. You can just see as soon as you put the neons over it, it's like putting a filter over the top. It just really boosts the colour. I am trying to put the neons over the colours that they are, so pink over pink, yellow over yellow and so on. It doesn't really matter if you don't do that, it's still going to show up. So if you've never used neon paints before, because of the formulation of them, they do tend to be a lot more translucent, and they really do boost any colours underneath, so you can get really cool effects with them. I'm just going back in with some white, again just to bring a little bit more control back to it. So you can sort of see that stenciling from the background has almost disappeared, but when you actually look at it close up, you can still see it. You can see those brighter bits of neon that really boost the colour. The neons I'm using currently are the Amsterdam paint neons, which are the reflex colours: reflex yellow, reflex orange, reflex green and reflex rose. And you can get those from most places, I think, but if you've got the Dilutions neons, they're pretty similar. They've got a blue, I think, in it as well, so you can use those as well. I just really like the Amsterdam ones. So these wonderful figures are from Scrap FX. So they've got these sort of funky punk, one of them had a mohawk, but it sort of made me think of punk. So I've gone in with this sort of long neck and odd shaped bodies going in different directions because their heads are a bit odd and different shaped. So I wanted to make it look a bit crazy. I also wanted to sort of get that grungy effect, so I decided I was going to make their bodies black with writing over the top of them, so they would really stand out against the really bright background. I've used black on all the bodies, but I have used 2 different stencils, so there is some sort of delineation between both of them. Obviously not very much because they're still very similar, but you can sort of see one body sort of hiding behind the other. And with a lot of my pages, as you know, I really love using text in some form on the pages. It just makes me happy to see it. I don't know, it must be the teacher coming out of me. When I finished, I just got a white pencil and outlined the outsides of my shapes, just sort of to delineate the bodies a little bit. And then I'm going in with my paint pens to put in the eyes and to colour in the pupils. So the heads that we've got there are from Scrap FX. I know some people find it really difficult to find them in different countries. These are really simple head shapes though, so have a go at drawing weird and wacky faces yourself. Try drawing out from a magazine or something. I'm sure you could probably have a go at drawing something weird and odd looking, because that's what they're supposed to look like in the end anyway. I'm going in and colouring these heads with my Stabilo woody pencils. So these are like the Stabilo oil pencils. They're just they're a kid's version. They're thicker, chunkier, as you can see, and they work in exactly the same way. They're quite creamy. You can kind of blend them with your finger a little bit. Obviously they'll water activate. I don't tend to do that much. I use them more for mark making or doing sort of quick shading like this on pages. So it's a really quick and easy way to colour in a page. Obviously you can use any colouring mediums that you like, but you can see here it just goes over paints really easily. To delineate those bodies a little bit more, I'm just using the different colours on it. So then I decided I was going to give them all mohawks and use different colours on each of them, which I really liked. Finally, I'm just going in with my Stabilo oil pencil to draw over the black again, to just get that really lovely contrast and really push those features out a little bit more. And the great thing about using the collage papers is the lines are already there for you. You're drawing over the top, so it looks like you've drawn it, but in actual fact you're tracing over someone else's great artwork, which I particularly appreciate when you want to do something quickly. So once I finished putting in all the details, then I was starting to think about what sort of quote I wanted to have on my page, which often takes the longest when I'm trying to do things like this. You can sort of see me tapping my fingers there, wondering what I'm going to do. While I was doing that, I got my good old washi out and popped my washi heights on. Someone's got a height in the wrong place. I was considering for a second putting on the left-hand side, but I changed my mind at the last minute. So now I am going in and putting on a quote, and I found, I first of all went through the Art by Mylene stickers, and there are a few little ones which I quite liked, so I stuck them on. But once I'd done this, it just didn't finish the page for me. The top looked a bit bare, so I decided I would keep the quotes on the bottom, but I would add a quote at the top as well, just to sort of balance it off a little bit. So I've got the Make It Happen, This Is It, Keep It Real, and Wild Child, which I thought sort of really captured the mood of my punky people. So now I'm just looking up a quote. Punk is passion. Punk is passionately being yourself, which I really liked, and that sort of captured what the page said to me, but also about how I create in my journal. If you've followed this channel for a while, have no particular style, so to speak. I just go with the flow, what really inspires me on the day. Some days I want to do really bright collage, weird looking people like these ones, lots of stenciling, lots of brightness on the page. Other days I have a more vintage grungy feel to it. Some days I just want to go abstract and just paint. Other days it's all about collage and cutting up magazines. And I really like the fact that I can pick and choose as I'm feeling on the day. So I never get bored with what I'm doing, and I suppose that's where the passionately being yourself, it is really hard in this industry. Not that I'm in the industry, but you know, when we've got Instagram and all these different social media platforms, you do tend to think, oh, I need to fit into this particular aesthetic, and it's okay not to, and it's okay to look at people's work and go, oh, I really like that, and oh, I don't really like that, but I really like the colours that they used on this, and use your inspiration from different bits and pieces. So passionately be yourself, go off and create something amazing. Have a go at using neon colours, because they are so much fun. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.